Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let us thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to gather here today. My name is Muhammad Rehan Nadir, and today I would like to present a topic entitled "The History of Islamic Civilization during the era of Khulafaur Rashidin." In this presentation, I will discuss the leadership's contributions and achievements of the four rightly guided caliphate, like Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Uthman bin Affan, and Ali ibn Abi Thalib. Mm, Their, their leadership played a significant role in the development and expansion of Islam civilization after the passing of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I hope this presentation will help us to better understand the important contributions of the Khulafaur Rashidin to Islamic history. Before we start discussing one by one the figures of the Khulafaur Rashidin, I will explain a little bit about what the definition of the Khulafaur Rashidin era was like. The Khulafaur Rashidin period was a transitional period of leadership in Islamic history after the death of our Prophet Muhammad SAW in 632 Common Era. Khulafaur Rashidin was the successor of Rasulullah, who was entrusted with continuing the Prophet's duties in state affairs and as the leader of the Muslim community from 632 Common Era to 661 Common Era. There were four friends of Rasulullah SAW who were chosen to become Khulafaur Rashidin. The first one is Abu Bakar as-Siddiq. The second one is Umar ibn al-Khattab. The third one, Uthman bin Affan. And the last one is Ali bin Abi Thalib. Okay, the beginning of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq's reign began after the death of our Prophet Muhammad SAW in 632 Common Era. At that time, Muslims experienced a very critical situation because there was no directly appointed replacement leader. The Muhajirin and Ansar then gathered at Saqifah Bani Sa'idah for deliberation to determine the leader of the Muslims community. During the deliberations, Umar bin Khattab proposed Abu Bakr as Khalifah because he was the Prophet's closest friend, the first adult to embrace Islam, and had been appointed as prayer leader when the Prophet was ill. Finally, the majority of Muslims pledged allegiance to Abu Bakr as the first Khalifa. At the beginning of his reign, Abu Bakr faced various major challenges. Several Arab tribes rebelled and refused to pay zakat after the Prophet's death. Apart from that, people also appeared who claimed to be prophets, such as Musailamah al-Kazab. To maintain the unity of the Muslim Ummah, Abu Bakr took firm action through the Riddah War against apostasy and rebellion. This policy success in reuniting the Arab region under Islamic rule. In addition to maintaining domestic stability, Abu Bakr also began to pursue the missionary and territorial expansion expeditions previously planned by the Prophet Muhammad SAW. His reign lasts for approximately 2 years, from 632 until 634 Common Era. But in that short time, he succeeded in maintaining the unity of the Muslim community and laying the foundations for the caliphate of the rightly guided caliphs. And for his contribution, the first one is maintaining the unity of the Muslim Ummah. After the death of the Prophet, our Prophet, many Muslims felt disoriented, and several Arab tribes began to separate from the Madinah government. In this situation, Abu Bakr al-Siddiq played a crucial role in maintaining Muslim unity. He reassured the Muslims continued the system of government established by the Prophet and ensured that the Muslim community remained united under a single leadership. His decisiveness stabilized at the initially chaotic situation. The second one, fighting apostates and false prophets like Ridah War. Early in his reign, there were numerous rebellions by Arab tribes who abandoned Islam and figures claiming to be prophets such as Musailamah al-Kazab. Abu Bakr recognized that this could undermine Islamic unity and teachings. Therefore, he led the Ridha Wars to suppress these rebellions. Victory in these wars restored stability to the Arabian Peninsula and strengthened the position of the Islamic government. The third, collecting the Quran in one mushaf. After the Yamamah War, many memories of the Quran die. Umar bin Khattab is worried that the verse of Quran will be lost if the number of memorizers continue to decrease. Abu Bakr then agreed to the proposal to collect all the verse of the Quran in one mushaf. And this text was given to Zaid bin Thabit. This collection is an important step in maintaining to the authenticity of the Quran so that it can be passed on in its entirety to the next generation. The fourth started the expansion of Islamic territories. Abu Bakr focused not only on the domestic affairs but also on spreading Islam beyond the Arabian Peninsula. He sent troops to Iraq and Syria to spread Islamic influence and counter threats from the major empires of the time. This policy marked the beginning of the expansion of Islamic territory, which would grow rapidly under subsequent caliphs such as Umar bin Khattab. The fifth, implement honest and trustworthy government. Abu Bakr was known as a humble, honest, and highly responsible leader towards his people. He did not use his power for personal gain and always prioritized the welfare of the people. In running his government, he frequently consulted with his companions to ensure fair and wise decisions. His trustworthy attitude serves as an important example in the Islamic system of government. Abu Bakr's reign ended in 634 Common Era. By the end of his reign, the Islamic State had become far more stable than it had been since his first caliphate. The apostate rebellion had been crushed, the unity of the Muslim community was restored, and the expansion of Islam beyond the Arabian Peninsula had begun. In the final days of his life, Abu Bakr fell ill after approximately 2 years of leading the Muslim community. The illness lasted for several days and gradually waked him. Nevertheless, he remained concerned about the continuity of Islamic rule and preventing division after his death. Therefore, Abu Bakr consulted with his senior companions regarding a potential successor. After considering various opinions, Abu Bakr appointed Umar ibn al-Khattab as the next caliph, or the second Khalifah. The reign of Umar ibn al-Khattab began in 634 Common Era after the death of Abu Bakr al-Siddiq. Before his death, Abu Bakr consulted with his companions regarding a successor and ultimately appointed Umar ibn al-Khattab as a second caliph. Known for Known for his decisiveness, justice, courage, and strong leadership skills, this appointment was subsequently accepted and pledged allegiance by the majority of Muslims. When Umar began his leadership, the Muslim community was more stable than in the early years of Abu Bakr's reign. The rebellion of the apostates had been successfully suppressed, allowing Umar to focus more on strengthening his power and expanding the Islam realm. However, the challenges he faced remain significant. Um, as the Islamic force began to confront the powerful empires of the time, namely the Byzantium Empire and the Sassanid Empire. Early in his reign, Umar implemented a more orderly and disciplined system of government. Yeah. Uh, he divided the Islamic realm into provinces and appointed governors to govern this region. Umar also deeply cared about the welfare of his people and enforced the law fairly without distinction of social status. Mm, Furthermore, Umar continued the expansion of Islamic territory that had begun during the reign of Abu Bakr. Early in his reign, Islam first achieved significant victories in Syria, Iraq, and Persia. This success led to the rapid expansion of Islamic power. Um, for for his contribution, the first one is expanding the Islamic territory during the reign of Umar ibn al-Khattab. Mm, The Islamic realm expanded rapidly. Islam first successfully occupied Persia, Iraq, Egypt, and most of Syria. Victories over the Sassanid and Byzantine Persian empires established Islam as a major world power at the time. The contribution number two is establishing the Baitul Mal Umar. The Baitul Mal. Umar established the Baitul Mal as a state financial institution to manage state revenues and expenditures. Assets from zakat, tax, and war proceed were were used for the benefit of the people, such as helping the poor, building public facilities, and government needs. The the contribution number three is enforcing legal justice. Umar was known as a very just and firm leader. He did not differentiate between ordinary citizens and officials in enforcing the law. Even governors and their families could be punished for wrongdoing. The fourth, improving public welfare. Umar was very concerned about the welfare of the people. He provided assistance to the poor, orphans, and the elderly. He also frequently visited his people directly to ensure their well-being. Mm, yeah. That's all about his contribution from Umar ibn al-Khattab. Okay, now the end of Umar ibn al-Khattab's reign is occurred in 644 Common Era or 23 Hijriah. By the end of his reign, Islam rule had expanded extensively, encompassing the Arabian Peninsula, Persia, Syria, and even Egypt. Umar was known as a firm and just leader whose success in establishing an orderly system of government. The the events that ended his leadership began when Umar led the morning prayer at the Prophet's mosque in Medina. At that moment, he was attacked by a Persian slave named Abu Lulu'ah al-Majusi. Using a double-edged knife, the attack seriously injured Umar. The per, the perpetrator also injured several worshippers before ultimately dying. Despite his illness, Umar remained concerned about the continuity of Islamic rule. He did not immediately appoint a successor, but instead formed a consultative committee consisting of several key components to select the next caliph. The committee ultimately chose Uthman bin Affan as his successor. Okay, and the third caliph is named Uthman bin Affan. The reign of Uthman bin Affan began in 644 Common Era, after the death of Umar ibn al-Khattab. Before his death, Umar formed a consultative council consisting of six prominent companions to elect the next Caliph. After the discussion and deliberation, the majority of the Shura members elected Uthman ibn Affan as the third Caliph of the Muslim community. Uh, Uthman Uthman was chosen because he was known as a pious, gentle, and generous companion of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, as well as because of his experience in trade and government. He was also one of the first to embrace Islam and held a privileged position to his marriage to two of Prophet Muhammad's daughters, earning him the title to Nurain, meaning like processor of the two lights. At the beginning of his reign, the Islamic State was stable and strong under Umar ibn al-Khattab's leadership. Therefore, Uthman continue many of the policies of his predecessor, particularly in state administration and the expansion of Islamic territory. In the early years of his reign, Islam territory continued to expand into North Africa, Armenia, and parts of Central Asia. Uh, one of the Uthman's key steps early in his reign was to strengthen government administration and appoint governors various regions. Mm, He also began developing infrastructures such as roads, mosques, and public facilities to support the progress of the Muslim community. And for his contributions, the first one is transforming the Mushaf of the Quran. Uthman bin Ibn al-Affan greatest Uthman ibn Affan's greatest contribution was compiling and standardizing the recitation of the Quran. As the Islam Empire expanded, differences in Quranic recitation methods emerged in various regions. To prevent disputes, Uthman formed a team led by Zaid ibn Thabit to copy a standardized manuscript based on the Quran compiled during the reign of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. This manuscript was then distributed to various Islam regions and became known as the Uthmani Mushaf. The contribution number two is developing infrastructures and public facilities. Uthman built roads, mosques, water channels, and various public facilities to support the community's well-being. He also expanded the Prophet's mosque to accommodate more worshippers. The contribution number third is supporting the spread of Islamic propagation. As the Islamic Empire expanded, Islam preaching also expanded to new areas. Uthman's government helped spread Islam teachings through the trade education and organized governance. By the end of the Uthman ibn al-Affan's reign occurred in 656 Common Era. At the beginning of his reign, the situation among Muslims was very stable, and the Islam Empire expanded significantly. However, towards the end of his reign, various political and social problems began to emerge in several regions. One cause of conflict was dissatisfaction among some with the policy of appointing governors, many of whom came from the Umayyad family. Some view this policy as excessively favoring relatives, even though Uthman actually chose them because they were considered capable of governing. This dissatisfaction was then exploited by certain parties to spread slander and provoke Uthman's government. The situation worsened when rebels groups from Egypt, Kufa, and Basra arrived in Medina, demanding a change of government. Initially, Uthman tried to resolve the issue through the deliberation and a peaceful approach. However, the rebellion continued to grow, and his house was besieged for several days. In this situation, many companions wanted to defend Uthman and fight the rebels, but Uthman refused to allow bloodshed among fellow Muslims. He chose to be patient and avoid fighting in Medina. Eventually, the rebels managed to break into his house and assassinate Uthman while he was reading the Quran. Ali ibn Abi Talib's leadership began in 656 Common Era, after the death of Uthman ibn Affan. After Uthman's death, following a rebellion, the Muslim community found itself in a highly unstable situation. Political chaos, division, and tension erupted across various Islamic territories. In this situation, many of his companions and the people of Medina asked Ali ibn Abi Talib to become Khalifa. Ali initially refused due to the conflict-ridden situation, but eventually accepted the oath of allegiance to maintain the unity of the Muslim community and prevent further unrest. Ali was known as the Prophet Muhammad's cousin and son-in-law. He was also among the first children to embrace Islam and was renowned for his courage, intelligence, and extensive knowledge of the Islamic faith. Therefore, many Muslims consider Ali a worthy leader during this difficult time. Early in his reign, Ali faced significant challenges, including demands for immediate punishment for the killers of Uthman ibn Affan. However, Ali chose to stabilize the situation first, as the political situation was still chaotic and the rebels were not yet fully under control. This decision sparked dissent among Muslims. To improve governance, Ali replaced several governors considered problematic during the previous period and attempt to implement a, an, a just and simple administration. He also moved the seat of government from Medina to Kufa in Iraq to better control the expanding Islamic territory and address growing political conflicts. And for his contribution, the first one is establishing a just government. Ali ibn Abi Talib was known as a very just and humble leader. He sought to rule without discrimination based on the ethnicity, status, or family. In managing state assets, Ali distributed them equally to the people according to their rights and reject abuse of power. Okay, the contribution number 2 is improving government administration. Early in his reign, Ali replaced several governors deemed untrustworthy or involved in political affairs during the previous period. This step was taken to improve the governance system and restore the people's trust in the Caliphate. Number 3 is maintaining Muslim unity amidst conflict. Ali's reign was filled with various internal conflicts such as the Battle of Jamal and the Battle of Siffin. Despite this, Ali continued to strive to maintain Muslim unity and avoid further bloodshed. The end of Ali ibn Abi Talib's reign occurred in 661 Common Era. His reign was filled with various political conflicts and division among Muslims that arose after the death of Uthman ibn Affan. One major conflict that occurred was the Battle of Siffin between Ali's forces and those of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, then governor of Syria. This conflict arose from disagreements regarding the resolution of Uthman ibn Affan's assassination. After the battle, tahkim, arbitration or peace negotiation was held, but the outcome caused further division within the Muslim community. Out of this event emerged the Khawarij, a group that initially supported Ali but later opposed him because they disagree with the tahkim. This group considered Ali, Muawiyah, and the parties involved in the arbitration to have committed a grave error. Towards the end of his reign, Ali continued to strive to maintain Muslim unity despite increasingly difficult political conditions. However, in 661 Common Era, Ali was attacked by a Khawarij member named Abdurrahman ibn Muljam while on his way to morning prayer at the Kufa Mosque. The attack severely wounded Ali. A few days later, Ali ibn Abi Talib died at the age approximately 63. Following Ali's death, the era of rightly guided Caliphate and Islamic rule was continued by the Umayyad dynasty under the leadership of Muawiyah ibn Abu Sufyan. Okay, Based on the above discussion, it can be concluded that the reigns of the Rashid Caliphate led by Abu Bakr al-Siddiq, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Uthman bin Affan, and Ali bin Abi Thalib were crucial in Islamic history. This Caliphate successfully maintained and developed the Muslim community after the death of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. Abu Bakr played a crucial role in maintaining community unity and combating apostasy. Umar ibn al-Khattab successfully expanded the Islamic realm and established an orderly government system. Uthman bin Affan made significant contribution to the standardization of the Quran and development of the Islamic realm, and Ali bin Abi Thalib was known for his efforts to uphold justice and maintain community unity amidst political conflict, although each period faced different challenges. All four caliphs consistently led based on Islamic values, including consideration, justice, and responsibility, making the reigns of the rightly guided caliphs a valuable example of Islamic leadership.